You know what most people get wrong about intelligence? They think smart people just have more facts in their head, more answers, more knowledge about everything. But that's not really true. The real difference isn't what they know. It's completely different. It's about how they think, how they look at problems, how they deal with situations that make everyone else lose their mind. You don't need to have a perfect memory or straight A's to be intelligent. You just need to train your brain to think the way smart people think. Today, I'm going to share 5 simple habits that intelligent people use every single day. These aren't complicated, but most people never learn them. Once you start applying these things, you'll see changes immediately. People will come to you for advice. Difficult situations won't stress you out like before, and you'll feel like you're finally in control. Let's get started. First habit. They don't try to prove they're right. Here's something interesting. When most people face a disagreement, they turn it into a war. They argue loudly. They get angry. They try to make the other person look foolish. But intelligent people do something completely different. Instead of fighting back, they ask questions. Genuine questions. Not tricky ones designed to trap someone. They say things like, "Can you help me understand your perspective?" Or, "What made you come to that conclusion?" They aren't focused on winning. They're focused on understanding. And here's the surprising part. When you stop fighting and start asking, people actually hear you. They don't become defensive. They open up. That's when real communication happens. That's when perspectives shift. Smart people understand this. You cannot force anyone to agree with you, but you can guide them to examine their own thinking. And often, they end up changing their own mind. Second habit. They look at the larger picture. Most people get trapped by tiny problems. They fail one exam and think they're not smart. Someone rejects their idea and they think they have no value. One bad day happens and they believe everything is crashing down. But intelligent people zoom out like a camera lens. They don't focus on one bad test. They search for a pattern. Maybe they need a different study method. Maybe their sleep schedule is off. Maybe they need extra help. They don't see rejection as proof of failure. They see it as useful data. What can they take away from this? What should they try differently next time? When you zoom out, big problems turn into small puzzles. And puzzles have solutions. Smart people ask themselves, what is actually happening here? What is within my control? What should be my next move? They don't panic. They make a plan. Third habit. They only focus on what they can actually change. This one is very powerful. Most people waste hours and hours worrying about things they have no power over. What others think about them. Whether the weather will be bad. If their manager is in a bad mood. What could possibly go wrong next week? All that worrying does absolutely nothing except drain their energy and increase their stress. Intelligent people follow one simple rule. If I cannot control it, I will not waste a single thought on it. Instead, they pour their energy into things they can actually influence. Can't control the rain. Can control carrying an umbrella. Can't control other people's opinions. Can control being honest and respectful. Can't control getting the job. Can control giving their absolute best in the interview. This saves them massive amounts of mental energy. Energy they can use to solve real problems and create real progress. When you stop worrying about everything outside your control, you start fixing what actually matters. Fourth habit. They treat silence like a weapon. Most people are terrified of quiet moments. When a conversation goes silent, they rush to fill the gap. They say whatever comes to their mind first. They talk just to avoid the awkwardness. But intelligent people are completely comfortable with silence. They think carefully before they speak. They listen way more than they talk. They let others finish their thoughts completely. And here's something interesting. Silence actually grabs attention. When you pause before responding, people assume your answer is valuable. When you listen without cutting someone off, people feel truly heard. Quiet people often come across as smarter than loud people. Not because they have more knowledge, but because they are selective with their words. Try this experiment. Next time someone asks you a question, wait 3 full seconds before replying. You will be surprised at how much better your responses become. Fifth habit. They hit pause before reacting. This might be the most important habit on this list. Most people react instantly to everything. Someone cuts them off while driving, they explode with anger. Someone says something rude, they immediately snap back. Something goes wrong, they complain or quit. But intelligent people do something completely different. They press pause. When something bothers them, they take one deep breath. They ask themselves, does this actually deserve my anger? What is the smartest way to handle this? When someone is disrespectful, they don't fire back instantly. They think, Maybe this person is struggling with something. How can I respond that actually helps the situation? This isn't about being weak or passive. It's about being strategic. The person who stays calm while everyone else loses control, that person holds all the power. The person who thinks while others just react, that person makes much better decisions. So here's what this means for you. You don't need to be the loudest. You don't need all the answers. You just need to think differently. Ask questions instead of arguing. Look for patterns instead of panicking over one failure. Focus on what you can control. Let go of what you can't. Use silence. Pause before you react. Most people won't do this. They'll keep arguing, worrying, and reacting. But if you practice these 5 habits, you will see solutions where others see problems. You will stay calm when others stress out. You will make better decisions because you think before you act. People will come to you for advice. They'll ask how you stay so calm. And the best part? You don't need to be born smart. You just need to pay attention and choose your responses. That's real intelligence. And now you know how to build it. Pick one habit from these 5. Just one. Don't try all at once. Maybe start with pausing before you react, or asking questions instead of arguing. Focus on it for 1 week. If this video helped you, hit like bro, and subscribe to Convo Ease. Let's go.